Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions, worlds of TV, film, news, music, everything really depending on the guest we talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats, and my guest is a musician, released the song end of May, and he's going to be releasing some new music coming out soon. YungManny is with us. Sir, welcome to Popternative.
Yo. Thank you for having me. You know what it is, the one and only, the GOAT, live in the flesh, YungManny.
I'm excited to chat with you. It's always exciting when you're releasing new music. I want to know for you, what's the mindset like when, the song's recorded, you have a release date, and it's like just kind of the waiting game. What's that like for you?
Well, it's just like, I know the passion and, the effort I put into it. It's not an accident. It's not, I'm always experimenting, but it's kind of like, I kind of feel like Michael Jordan in the gym or Tiger Woods on the golf course. And, you never know when the ball's going in, but, it's a certain angle he, hits it at every time that it's going to go near. And you feel me? I think every one of mine should be a hole-in-one. So it's just like, I just be waiting to, show my baby to the world. It's literally like my child every time I drop, my newborn that I dressed up, put the bow tie on and got ready for his first day of school.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just waiting for the good responses about the outfit.
100%. We're going to talk about, obviously, we're talking about Clap for Him, but I want to know about Kenmore, because you released that in end of May 26th, you released that. What was that? Tell us about the journey about that song. What was that song all about for you?
Kenmore, that's a really symbolic song to me, like everything I do in this, music journey, I have to be like, self-explanatory. I want you to come up to me and tell me about, the middle school I went to or a certain phase I had in my life. I want my story to be, self-representative, and that's when it's real. I don't want to have to come explaining why I did such and such every time. The people that know around here, they know Kenmore is where I went to middle school. That's a big name around my area. I just had to let them know that I'm still the same guy I was from Kenmore Middle School. I'm just 10 times richer, 10 times smarter, and 10 times ready to take over the world.
I'm curious to know, too, the mindset of writing a song, putting a track down, putting a beat for that. Does it depend? Is it different each song for you, or do you have kind of a similar process or idea going into like the song creation aspect of things?
It's always a different process, but it's like when you done threw the ball 100 times, when you get a new wide receiver there, it might take a little bit to connect, but it's like it's the same. It's practice. It's routine. Everything is routine. Everything is us, and whether the beat or the genre might be different. I feel like I have a great understanding of just the concept of music, sonics, sounds that sound, pleasing to the ear, and, the just experience I'm trying to create, for the viewers. I haven't listened to music from a viewer's perspective in years. Everything is so critiquing and meticulous and, just trying to make it the most perfect product when it reaches, the audience. But I can definitely say I go in there every time and I know it's going to be a good song when it comes out. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, absolutely. It's because different artists have different answers. That's why I always like asking that, because I always get curious about like the creation, right? Like the mindset of like making something that always interests me. So I wanted to ask you that.
I don't write too much anymore. I go in the studio. Usually when I record on a beat, I'm hearing that beat for the first time. That hour.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything pre-written. I just catch vibes. Let's go. I just tell my engineer, come on, let's go. I record right by the engineer. I don't even record in the booth. I like to be face to face. I'm I don't know what it is, but a visual. I like to be hands-on. So I like to, I can't just sit in a room and tell somebody to press a button. That's not my music. Other people can do it, but it's not me.
Absolutely. Now, I'm really excited to ask you about this because obviously Clap for Him was a big song for you. It was heard around the world. I mean, it was also it's a good song as it is, but it was also used frequently on TikTok. So
Correct.
I'm curious, did you just because I guess if you talk to a lot of artists that have songs that did very well on TikTok, I feel like it's 50-50 where you might have some that kind of maybe knew, hey, someone's dropping a TikTok song, a TikTok dance with your song, it might do well, or maybe it just kind of happened. Did you know that they were going to use that song for TikTok? Like, what was that like for you? Were you surprised? What was that all like for you?
I wasn't making a TikTok song, but I knew they were gonna use it for TikTok half a year before they used it. Cause it's like, when you see certain people like Drake, and every time he releases, he hits the top of the Billboard, you kind of start to, it's like, is it, like, does he know he's gonna do this? And it's like, everything's always gonna be in God's hands. You never know what a song's gonna do. But I just had to trust that I have the same 2 ears that you have, and that the next person has, and that the next person had. And like I said, it's everything is calculated for me, whether it be an R&B song, sometimes I like to be on my, singing emotional vibe. Sometimes I like to make club turn up songs and whatnot. And it's just like, I feel like with that, it was a lot of understanding the assignment. When I heard the beat, I understood the assignment. I was like, I know what I had to do. I know what song I had to make. And aside from TikTok, it's a club song. It's a feel good song. It's a song for the women. The women that was in the studio that day, they told me it was gonna be a hit. And when the women tell you it's a hit, baby, it's a hit. You feel me? I ain't lying to you. When they tell you it's a hit, it's a hit. So, it was all just waiting for it to come. Not if, but when. Even when I dropped it, it didn't. I tried to make it, go a little on TikTok. I was doing my little dance challenges and whatnot. But, that wasn't even necessarily what popped off. Somebody made their own challenge and it popped off in its own way,
Absolutely.
So I could say that it was calculated, 10%, 15%. I didn't know, but I knew what I was doing.
100%. And that track was a collaboration with 2 other amazing artists as well. What do
Correct.
you enjoy about features and collaborations and working with other artists?
Like I said, when I used to, listen to music from solely a viewer's perspective, and I wasn't really even making music, it's always nice to see the cool kids knowing other cool kids. It's like, damn, you know him? Like, it's like, oh my gosh, everybody want to be at the cool kid table. Everybody want to, so that's just how it is. It's a blessing, to be in an industry where, people that I used to look up to, are now my peers and, people I go to for advice on whatnot. But, I'm a real big music lover. So I always try to see, who will sound perfect and, who brings that charisma. It's also about what's in you and not what's on you. Some people only got it in them. I like those people who can, Flo Milli, she the one. You can see it on her. You feel me? That's why, she's so fruitful and she's so prosperous because you can see it. Certain people just stars. And, I love when I see that star power in somebody, especially when they're humble and they just got that hunger in them. So I always want to work with those people.
100%. Specifically on Spotify, your music can be listened to all over. There's a lot of different ways people could listen to YungManny, but I'm talking specifically on Spotify. There's over 1 million people on a monthly basis that listen to YungManny, which is incredible. When they listen to your music, the obvious answer to this question is you hope they enjoy it. You hope they put it on repeat, add to a playlist. Diving deep into it a little bit more, what are you hoping they get out of your music when they listen to it?
Nostalgic experiences. I like those songs that you can click on and be like, damn, like it almost makes you sad in a sense, like, damn, the world used to be like such and such at a point in time, or in 2010, certain people when they hear the song Fireflies or It's Too Late to Apologize, it just brings them back to a time period. It's like, damn, the world was so innocent, certain things were going on. I just want every time, I have a song, whether somebody listens it tomorrow, next week, or in 10 years, I want them to be like, damn, I missed this time period. And I always I like the artists. I always say this 1,000 times. You can jump to music and, be in a car, being on some hype, rah vibes. But at the end of the day, at a certain point in life, you only want peace, you want to just be calm, soothing. So I just wanted to make that music that, put people's minds at ease, when they got 1,000 things going on, they can count on me and kind of feel like I understand what they're going through a little bit,
Oh, absolutely. And before we wrap up, I mean, there is going to be some more music on the way that you're going to be releasing. How excited are you to release new music?
Um, it's almost so excited that I try to not show it.
Yeah.
When you got a big blessing on the way and you're trying to do everything in you to not talk about it because you don't want to mess it up. But boy, I got better. Boy, I got better every day. So I'm like I said, it's not if, it's when. So when you hear that new album and you feel like it's the greatest album of all time, I'd appreciate if you just send me a quick text and say it was the greatest, like you said it would be. That's all.
Absolutely. YungManny, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm always appreciative.
Absolutely. So yeah, people can listen to your music. There's new stuff coming out soon. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
You can follow me on Instagram at YungManny. That's YungManny. There's no O in the Young. Twitter has that same YungManny, but it's YungManny in front of it. So it's ITSYUNGMANNY. And my TikTok is YungManny Official. Same spelling of YungManny, just official at the end.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is YungManny and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.